Hey guys, and welcome back to some more F1 2019 and part 4 of our Williams career mode. And in today's episode, we take on the Chinese Grand Prix. Sorry that there hasn't been a video for what feels like forever. It's been about 4 days. I've been super busy, but my summer has officially started. Hopefully, stuff will be returned to somewhat of a schedule over the next couple of weeks. We will have Cricket 19 coming out. We will have Snooker 19 coming out, of course. And hopefully some Tennis World Tour, Cricket Captain, and maybe some other new games in there as well, of course, with the Retro Show at some point as well. So a great deal to look forward to over the next couple of weeks. Thank you for all the support on the first 3 episodes. I've really enjoyed the game, and I'm looking forward to getting back into some today as we start qualifying.
Welcome to Shanghai, China, for what I've no doubt is going to be a fantastic F1 qualifying session.
Well, you can see Nico Hülkenberg passing us down the inside as we finish off our first lap in Q1, our first hot lap, and well, I don't think our pace is actually too bad on this lap. We were only about 0.6 off Perez through second sector, so we're coming up to the line now. It's a 1:38, which is 10th so far, so we've lost a lot of time in that final sector, I think, but we'll see how we are compared to Russell. He's sort of the guy that we account ourselves against. So second hot lap, we're coming up to the line. You can see we're already 0.6 up. What's it going to be? We go up to 17th. That's pretty good. We're ahead of Dieter, not Dieter Weber. I can't remember what his name is now. What is his name? Davide or something like that. But yeah. Oh, hopefully that's not a penalty or whatever. But we are up to 17th at the moment, which is good. And if we can improve again on the next lap, who knows? Q2 might be on the cards. Here we are then, coming up to the line, another couple of tenths gained. What's it going to be? I think we stay in 18th in the end, and that's not too bad, to be honest with you. Not being on the back row of the grid, I think, is quite an achievement for the Williams, to be honest with you. But Sebastian Vettel finishes quickest in Q1. We don't know who is going to be on pole. Hülkenberg scrapes through by the skin of his teeth. Ricciardo drops out. That's a big surprise. And then Stroll behind him. So we almost outqualified Lance Stroll, but both myself and George Russell outqualify Alexander Albon 0.5 quicker than Russell this Grand Prix, which is a big turn of form, but we did improve every lap, and I think we were out there right at the end when the track was at its absolute best, and maybe Russell wasn't. So we'll see what that means for the race, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that start to the race. So let's hand over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson as we get ready for this 2019 Chinese Grand Prix.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. So, let's briefly discuss Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Gasly, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Sainz and Lando Norris, Perez, Butler, Lucas Faber and Grosjean. Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Lance Stroll, and the captain, Russell. And Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So here we are down on the track then, ready for lights out.
Don't let me down.
It says that we're going to start on the super soft tyres. I think I'm going to edit that because we already have... do we have brand new soft tyres? I can't remember. No. It's difficult to remember. They do depreciate a lot as well, that's the thing. It does say they're starting on 100%, so I guess we'll trust that if you like. But my idea was to start on soft tyres and then move to hard tyres halfway through the race. It says it'll be 8 seconds slower to do that. So I guess we'll just stick with this strategy. Maybe pit a lap earlier. Not sure. It's a difficult one. It really is a difficult one. They seem to think that's the optimal strategy. I guess we'll go along with that. It's a 14 lap race, so we'll stick an extra lap and a bit of fuel into the car and we'll get off and going. But yeah, interesting that I think the top 4 were separated by a couple of tenths. It was a really good qualifying session, it seems. Later on in the Grand Prix, we sort of stalled there. That was weird.
You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
So yeah, we need to warm our tyres up a little bit and sort of get off and going for this Grand Prix. Hopefully we can have another strong performance. I think Bahrain was a bit of an anomaly. We were really, really slow, and you know, I think we definitely struggled to keep up with people that race. Early on we were alright, we were sort of keeping up with the cars ahead of us, but eventually it was too much, and we finished back of the pack in the end, and hopefully we can finish more like we did in Australia, you know, not with points, but at least fighting out with this midfield group, and hopefully finish ahead of our teammate George Russell this Grand Prix. That is certainly what we're hoping for. Lance Stroll right ahead of us. I wonder where Perez qualified in the end. I can't quite remember on the grid. We're certainly a long way ahead of Stroll. Oh dear. Ugh. That could have been bad. I think we're okay. I don't think we hit Russell, so we're alright, but that could have been really bad. Right, so moving up into hot lap at the start of this race. I'm going to start on lean mixture and hopefully have a good start. Well, here we are, ready for the lights then. Lights out, away we go. There's a yellow flag already. I'm not entirely sure what's happened. Leclerc has stopped. I think Leclerc might be out of the race, which is a big shock at the start here. We're going to just lunge it down the inside, try and keep our front wing intact. But I think that worked out remarkably successfully. And Leclerc already out of the race, so we're up to 14th here. Will there be a safety car? That is the question. Certainly with the car stopped out on track. I'm hoping that he has retired and it's not just a glitch that he's sort of just stuck there for the rest of the Grand Prix, because that's going to be fun if you're trying to overtake somebody on the straight. But I think we're alright. We're fine, and it's a good start, and everybody's sort of got through it. The lights were released really quickly though, but certainly not a bad start for us. Hopefully we'll be able to keep pace with Grosjean in these opening laps of this Chinese Grand Prix. But we got off to exactly the start we wanted to. We jumped past a load of cars in that very slow turn 1. And now it's a case of holding on to it. But here comes Raikkonen. He's going to be the first car that tries to pass us. We've got Daniel Ricciardo as well in the car behind him. As up ahead we've got cars side by side. Grosjean and Raikkonen's gone down our inside, but we're going to get the better traction out of the corner, and that turns into the inside line, of course, for the final corner of this Chinese Shanghai circuit. Lap 1 we are 14th, but it looks like the cars behind do have a bit more pace than ourselves at the moment, but we'll just hold on and hopefully catch up to our former teammate Lucas Webber, not Davide or whatever I called him. Here comes Raikkonen down the inside. He's having a look. Once again, we brake a little bit later than him, but this time he gets a better exit than us, so it forces us out wide. Ricciardo's there as well. Yeah, a little bit of a warning for our argy-bargy there, but we are going to come round the outside now of Daniel Ricciardo as DRS gets enabled, but the Renault just has better straight line speed at this stage of the season, which, you know, like it or not, that's the situation we're in. We're very, very slow, but we throw it down the inside of Ricciardo. Well, unlucky there. We might be able to lunge into turn 4, but we have to question, is it worth it? Probably not. Just keep it close and we might be able to get a move on him.
If we turn down the ERS deployment, we can harvest more energy.
Maybe not, because now we've had to turn our energy down, so I'm going to be pretty much down to where we were in a second. There goes Stroll, and he's straight past. We have nothing to fight these guys with at this stage. Russell right behind me as well. He's having a look round our outside. We're going to just hold him off. And Albon gets through, so a little bit of fighting there has cost Russell a position. That's up to him as far as I'm concerned. He shouldn't have lunged it. And we have changed our strategy. We are going to box this lap instead of the next lap. Well, here we come into the pit lane then for our stop. We get down to 49 miles an hour and come into the pits. And a few cars have come in. And they're away. The Haas and the Renault of Hulkenberg, I think. We're past the McLaren now of Norris.
Go, go, go.
We're away once again, 2 seconds. That's a pretty decent pit stop, to be honest with you. And we're away.
See these tyres through to the end now.
So brand new medium tyres for the rest of this Grand Prix. We're going to have to look after them, but hopefully it should mean that we get a bit of an undercut on those cars that were around us. That's the plan, at least.
The car ahead is coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead, now running medium tyres.
Well, we've come out ahead of the likes of Raikkonen, so we've definitely had some form of undercut on these cars, and we've come out right behind Sergio Perez, so you know, I think Russell will still be out there, which means his tyres are going to be absolutely shot at this point. But I think he saved himself a new pair. We didn't for this race. I'm pretty sure that the tyres we started on were the ones we ran in qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see where Russell comes out, because obviously Russell was right behind us as we came into the pits, but we'll have to see. We're coming round now We will get DRS on Perez, I think, but I'm not sure we're going to be overtaking him. We'll stick it in overtake mode anyway. At least be able to catch up.
George is coming in for his stop.
There you go, Russell into the pits now. We should get DRS again on Sergio, and we do. So here we come through now. There's Stroll leaving the pit lane, and Webber as well. And you see we're through, so it actually did work out pretty well in the end, our undercut, because now we're well ahead, and if we can look after the tyres and not lock up like we did into that first turn, we could have a pretty strong result here.
Great manoeuvre. You made it look easy.
Well, we passed Sainz. I think Sainz is out of the race, yeah. Just sort of lost power in the car as he went round that turn. That was a shame for us because we were
Green flag.
we were just going we were right behind Perez and Norris really, where we were before, but because we had to slow down a bit to get past Sainz, we sort of lost out, but it doesn't really matter. We're in 12th place at the moment, still looking comfortable. And as long as we can stay out of DRS range of the cars behind, we're on for a really, really strong result again, and it sort of backs up Australia form, which is confusing because we were so terrible around Bahrain. Well, we're coming on to the final lap of the race, and although we've pushed hard, I don't think we were ever going to reach Norris and the Renault ahead of him for points today. We've pushed really hard. We've pretty much raced the perfect race. In terms of our pace and our management, I think we've done absolutely splendidly in this Grand Prix, and I'm really, really happy with the result. 12th place, and we're gonna look after the car now towards the end. We're not gonna push it too hard. We're just gonna look after this result, and we know that we've completely outperformed George this weekend, but equally he completely outperformed us in Bahrain, so swings and roundabouts. He actually got through to Q2. He's going to always be the first of the Williams to have done that this year, and although we've outperformed him in 2 races, there's a long way to go this season. Sebastian Vettel breaks Lewis Hamilton's streak at the start of the season. He wins the Chinese Grand Prix, but we're going to be incredibly pleased with our 12th place, and I think we can take a lot of pride out of this Grand Prix, and I'm sure we're going to take confidence into the next one in Azerbaijan. But we come across in 12th place, and
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in park.
we'll see how people feel about that.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions, and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. Let's have a quick look at how the driver standings have changed. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Well, Crofty, Daniel Ricciardo would have to be my driver of the day. It's less about what he did right, but how little he did wrong. Perfect driving.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Well, I think it was a fabulous Grand Prix this time. Vettel winning the race and getting the fastest lap. Lewis Hamilton second, Bottas third, Verstappen fourth, with Gasly in an impressive fifth for Red Bull. Magnussen and Grosjean a great sixth and seventh for Haas, with Ricciardo and Hülkenberg in eighth and ninth. Ricciardo especially from 16th on the grid doing a fantastic job. So did Grosjean, to be honest, from 14th, and Perez finishing in 10th as well, ahead of Lando Norris. We finished 12th, very, very happy with that. A fastest lap of a 40.3, which wasn't quite as quick as Stroll and Raikkonen, but was quicker than Devin Butler and George Russell. Not quite as quick as Lucas Webber, quicker than Albon, but Sainz, unfortunately for him, a DNF. I think he would have possibly finished in the points at the expense of Perez had he stayed in the race. So we'll head on and see what effect that has had on our resource points, that sort of thing. And there's
I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
Claire once again with our interview.
During the race.
Our engineers have done a fantastic job with the power unit. We'll sweep them up a little bit.
Ecstatic with how you're performing.
I'm really glad I can live up to their expectations. Fantastic.
Start of the season. How do you think things are going to go for you?
I'm going for the title. Goodness me. You can never tell this early. Be diplomatic about it.
It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it?
No comment.
Great. Well, that's everything.
There you go. Very happy with our performance there in the end, to be honest with you. 12th place, something we can build upon and move on into the next couple of Grand Prix. Obviously, Baku is not one that I'm great around. I think we will be quite slow in the end around there. But certainly some good points for our rivalry with George Russell. We're now 15-12 up on him, 3 Grand Prix in, so starting to get a little bit of a lead over him. We've got some good resource points coming in there as well, 904, so we might actually do some more upgrades.
Remember
if
to
we
select a
have a
driver
little
and
look.
consider your rival from the rivalry screen on the workstation. Performing well against your rival can earn you respect and better terms when it comes to our contract reviews. Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
Where is he? Russell's attending the time attack in the 1979 Ferrari. We'll have a little think about
Here
that.
you can see a list of eligible drivers to declare as your rival. The more challenging they are to beat, the more the paddock will respect you for succeeding. Just be aware, you'll lose the same amount of respect if you come off second best. So it may be wise not to be overly ambitious.
I think Devin Butler. We all know how much of a so-and-so he is. There you go. Devin Butler is now our rival, the Toro Rosso man. But let's have a little look at upgrades before we go. I think, well, we can't quite do 2, but we can certainly do one of the powertrain upgrades and see how much we've got left. So we've got 444. Unfortunately, we can't quite afford a second. Why can't we have this one? Because that one needs to be done. So we've got a few upgrades in the pipeline, as you can see, and hopefully performance will be improving. You can see on the bottom right, it should take us up to about the Toro Rosso performance, and and then hopefully from there we can push on higher up the midfield. But if you've enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like down below. Really does help me out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for regular F1 2019 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.